Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you getting into my weekly check-in. This week's weekly check-in will start on the 30th of the previous month of January and we're going to stop on the 6th of February. My husband always gets paychecks at the last day of the previous month and that's the first of my next month. So when I start my spending categories, that's where I'm going to be starting from every month going forward. It's been working for the past few months that we've been doing it, so I'm excited to figure that out in our budgeting and budgeting schedule. It's flowing very nicely that way. This week we have 11 transactions and I have family in town. We are visiting and having a lot of fun, so next week's transactions will reflect that, but also this week's stocking up before family got here will also be reflected here. So that's what I have here on this notebook. Let's go ahead and kind of look at some of the rest of the month. I don't typically do this, but I just wanted to do a little flip through. So if you only come to my weekly check-ins, you can check out what else I'm doing for the month and how things are flowing, and then maybe check out some of my other videos. If you do like my content, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. I'm looking for more subscribers so I can build up for monetization, and I'm very close and it's growing very rapidly here recently, so I am excited about that. There are people looking for ways to do their finances for the new year, and I just hope you enjoy learning through how I use my budget as an example for you guys to do your budget. So this is a weekly check-in. I also do monthly budgets, which is this page right here. And I just lay out everything for the month. I know how much income should be coming in and how much expenses will be coming out and what is left over possibly at the end of the month. I always do a scripture writing and a prayer. This month is Colossians 3:14. You can go check that out. I think I have a video, I have not posted it yet, of just me reading all of this over here. I will try to get that up today. So I do apologize if you've been waiting on that video. It's been busy. I got family in town. But Colossians 3:14 I thought was a really good one for the month of February, the month of love and all of that. So check out that scripture if you're interested. And then with my monthly budget, I do like to track exactly when things happen and when they're posting or if there are changes, which is what these are here. So far, not a lot of changes. I did have some increases here, a little fluctuation, which was kind of nice. That gave me a little extra income, and I did bring over a little money from last month to this month. I don't typically do that, but it definitely helped out this month. My monthly budget is separated into 2 weeks, so everything ends on this one bill right here, which is Geico. That's the last bill that happens in my first paycheck, which is the actual cash that I actually have in the beginning of the month. So having that already laid out, I know exactly how much will be coming out during paycheck 1. And then when paycheck 2 hits, these are the bills that are going to hit. And then these are my spending categories. I just divide these in half and give half to each part of the month. And my husband gets paid directly in the middle on the 15th of every month. So it works out really well. Here's paycheck 1. Here's paycheck 2, and I'm tracking as I go. As things hit the bank, I just make a note of it, and then it takes me 2 minutes and I'm done. So I actually know what's going on. It's all in my head, and I know what we have flexibility-wise in our spending. And we're about to do the weekly check-in. So this is what we're checking in is for week 1. And all of our spending and a few of our bills actually go onto the credit card. So I have a credit card spending tracker. So this is my flow of how I track things. And it may look like a lot, but really once you set up all the pages, I'm only doing like 5 minutes a day. That's it. That's all I really do. And this is every transaction that hits the credit card, spending, and a few bills. Some are also sinking funds or other things, and I don't make note of it in my budget, but I do track it here on my credit card. This morning I already made the payment for the credit card spending, and I do have a balance left on there, and that's just for the transactions that happened on Friday and that aren't included in this week's weekly check-in. So that's where I'm at right now. That's all the budgeting sheets that I have, and I make every month to keep me on track for where I'm spending and where the money's going once the income hits the bank account. So I love it. I love doing this. it lowers my anxiety. It keeps me stress-free. It keeps me feeling like I am in somewhat control over what's going on, and I'm making good decisions as I go. I always write out my weekly check-in here, all these different transactions. We check them off, and we're going to total these up and make sure my math is correct as far as what payment I made to the credit card. First thing we have, and I like to go over, is this pink grocery household. Anything that we spend money-wise that belongs to the house, cleaning supplies or anything like that, or groceries, food that we eat and stuff, that goes under this category, and I budget quite a bit for this to make sure everything is covered, because when you're buying laundry detergent and cleaning supplies for mopping or dishwasher stuff or whatever it is you're doing, those things add up really, really high. And if you like a certain brand, it can get even higher. So I always like to budget high enough for those categories. And our first one here is our grocery store, Meijer. It's our closest grocery store, so I always go there all the time. And here I just got some odds and ends stuff for shopping for things I forgot to put in my grocery order for Monday. So there are things that I have to buy. I buy fresh fruit every Sunday for the week. And I had enough on Monday, but I forgot for the rest of the week, so I had to run to the store and pick it up to make sure I had enough fresh fruit for my husband's lunches for the week. And I only buy enough for me and him for the week. I don't buy too much of that because I don't want any of the fruit spoiling or anything like that. So between the fruit, the milk, and eggs and all the odds and ends stuff that I needed to get that day, it was $44.27. And then I had a grocery pickup for $120.66, and a lot of that was snacks for Super Bowl Sunday and things that we were going to eat and need to keep in the house for the week. So that was some meats and things like that. $120.66. Let's check these off over here. And then $17.91. That was $10 of that was popsicles for my neighbor's daughter. She was sick with a fever. She was not feeling well. And I think the boxes that she gets were like $4.99, and that was on sale, so they weren't cheap. So I got her 2 boxes because I happened to be going to the store anyway, and she paid me cash $10, but I still gotta pay the credit card back. So there was that, and then what did I go for? Oh, I had to pick up some more milk. I only picked up 1 gallon of milk here, and I really should have picked up 3. I didn't realize how low we are, so I got a couple more gallons of milk and popsicles and things like that, snack stuff for my neighbor's daughter. So it was $17.91, and I was doing that same time I got my grocery pickup, which was cool. Amazon, what did I get on Amazon? That was $74.47. I think 55 of this is that really large bottle of tea tree. Let me find my Amazon app. So I like to get this tea tree brand of body moisturizer and leave-in conditioner, and it's really good for a lot of different skin types. It works in my son's scalp really well, keeps it from flaking and all that stuff. We all actually use it, and this is like a $55 bottle. That's how much the cost is, and the brand works. So I use that, but this will last. It's a 33 ounce, and it'll last my son as well as my family, if we're using it too, for about 6 months. So it's a large upfront cost that lasts 6 months long. So I don't mind getting it. I haven't bought one in 6 months, so that's pretty good. And then I like to get these Reynolds cookie baking sheets. I use them every day, 2 or 3 of these a day, just because how we cook and what we're cooking in our home. And my grocery store doesn't always have them, so I just don't even bother looking in the grocery store. I just order them when I know I'm running low, and you get 4 individual boxes for that. And so the combination of both of those was $74.47, and then we have $51.06. So I got eggs, I got different juices and other stuff. Living in a house with 3 men, They eat like crazy. So I can't keep anything stock. So I had to get more eggs because I eat eggs for breakfast every morning. And then we needed more juice and some snacks. And my son needed mouthwash. And that's usually an $11 bottle. Now my oldest son does contribute income to the household. So a lot of the things that he's requesting falls in that. I just don't separate it as a separate category. I buy it and commingle it with all of our spending and then just pay the credit card. So that way I don't have to track too many variety of things, because that would be really nitpicking and that's just not fun. So the next thing we have, now let's go ahead and total up all the grocery household that I have for this week. This will be on next week's weekly check-in. I'm just a little bit behind getting this done. So let's go ahead and do that. So I will be right back. Okay, so this week we spent $308.37 in groceries, which is good because I think I gave myself $1,500 for the entire month in grocery household, and we have 4 weeks that we're working with here in our spending. That's $375 a week, so that is definitely under the $375 threshold, and I am happy with where we spent. And as long as we do that consistently throughout the month, then we should be good. Next I have restaurants. So we have 2 restaurants here that we out to eat, and one was me and my husband after church. We're going to run some errands, and we stopped at Taco Bell, which was $22.77 for lunch, and then we went out to dinner for King Buffet, a Chinese restaurant that we have, and that was $38.76. And let's get that total. And that has $61.53 as the amount that we spent. There we go. Next we have is miscellaneous. So let's check these off. There we go. Miscellaneous. So we did have Friday night pizza night with our sons. We didn't buy pizza. My parents actually did buy all the pizza for that evening, so we didn't have to spend money in restaurants, which was nice. We are trying not to spend as much this month because I had to lower the amount that we were spending, and it was just nice that somebody else did that. And so we decided to do a video on Prime, Amazon Prime, for my sons, and we watched Sonic 3 again. We saw it in the theaters, and then I'm like, I thought this would be a good movie to watch again because they enjoyed it so much. So we rented the movie. It was $19.99 plus tax, which was $21.67 here, and that was a lot of fun. And then Apple.com. So I purchased some music. $10.59 was the total. But the music I purchased is Max McNown. I think that's how you say his name. And the album I got was Night Driving. You can't really see that. Hold on. Make that really bright. Let's get a different picture. Here's Max McNown. And this is not the album I got. I got the Night Driving album here. And I'm just really loving his music right now. And he's a young man, he's 23, but he has got a great sound that I absolutely love. His most popular song is A Lot More Free, so check that out. He has a whole video playlist on YouTube, and if you like kind of a country sound with amazing poetry in it, this guy with words is amazing. I absolutely love him, so I've bought all of his albums so far. He doesn't have many. I think he has 3. A short album and then 2 regular length albums, and this one just dropped in January, the end of January, so I was like, I gotta get it because it's that good. The other thing we have is the Amazon purchase for $15.28. That purchase was some clip-on sunglasses my husband wanted to try, and they didn't work out, so we might get a refund from that. If we do, I think I'll just refund back to Amazon and then as a credit, and then next time we purchase something, it'll just come off the bill that we did a purchase from. So I think that's how we do it. Anyways, we spend enough on Amazon regardless, and then if that's how much how they're going to process it, that'll be fine. And I'm okay with that. So we're going to go ahead and pay this, and then we haven't even started the refund process because it just did not work out. And a lot of times they don't even want this stuff back because it's cheap. It was cheap. It was like $15. It's not even worth shipping back, but that's okay. So the total here is $47.54. Okay. Next we have gasoline, which is this $23.42. Here we had no copay medical prescriptions or doctor's appointments, and no unbudgeted because I really don't have any extra money in the checking account as a buffer to do things like that. So yeah, there's no unbudgeted there. I do have a few bills on here. We'll go ahead and flip to my, let's see, we'll go to paycheck 1 and then we'll go to the credit card tracker. So these first 3 blue highlighted ones are Spectrum, Amazon Music, and Hulu Plus. So that's $109.99, $10.59, and then $101.75. Those are the cost of those 3 bills, and that's what went to the credit card. And if you look at my tracker here, that same dark blue here you see is right here, the 1, 2, and 3. So these are the only ones that were charged, and this is how I find out what was charged to the credit card. I used to do a bill calendar, and I'm thinking about setting up a bill due calendar by date here, and I can refer back to what happens every week. So, and I'll have their dates. It's something a little different. Normally I do a 2-page calendar. Either I'll do a full 1-page calendar as one giant sticker, or I will just do a title with on the first date, amount, and what the bill is. So things like that. I haven't decided what that's going to look like yet, but I definitely want to do that because I'm tracking the bills differently this year, and it's really confusing my brain, and it really shouldn't. It's not that hard. But if I come here, I know exactly where I am. So let's see if we can come up with this number right here. I do have a separate payment for $56.10. That was for, what was that for? $56.10. That was this here. Bought wiper blades for my car, and I took it out of the car sinking fund and transfer just this amount from that savings account to this credit card. So that's why it's separate and not included in the spending here, because it was something to maintenance my car with. So let's go ahead and total up how much we have in bills. I know this is different what I normally do, but hopefully you understood. If not, let me know in the comments if it sounded confusing, and I will work on it. So we have $222.33. That is the bills for this month. So let's total all the categories together, including the bills. $308.37 plus the $61.53 plus the $47.54 plus the $23.42, and then the bills are $222.33. And that's, well, I'm a penny off. Did I hit a number wrong? Okay, based on my notes, my bills might be off by a penny. Let's do this again. $109.99 plus $10.59 plus $101.75. Huh, I used the wrong number. That's okay. I will add a penny next time I make a payment, and it should be fine. I'm going to make a note to myself, and I'll go over it next week to make sure that I take care of that. So 1 penny off, not that big a deal. I just totaled the bills a little bit wrong when I originally did it off camera. So that's okay. But that won't affect the weekly check-in. So here's the weekly check-in part. And we know the credit card is paid. So now we need to take these totals and put them here in the spent, and then see how much we have left for the rest of the month. I'm kind of sliding everything around here. All right, so we had $1,500 here, and we spent $308.37. All right, that still leaves $1,191.63 divided by 3 more weeks that we have left, and that gives us a $3.97 a week we can buy in grocery and household items for what we need. So we should be good to go there. Now I had $400 budgeted for restaurants, and we only did $61, which is really good, and 53 cents. We're trying to be ultra cautious right now because we just have less income that we're working with since we started doing a fully funded Roth IRA and broke it down by 12 months for $8,000 for me, $8,000 for my husband. So that doesn't leave a lot of money left over. So $61.53. And so that leaves $338.47. And anytime I'm looking to cut back on anything, usually restaurants is one of the first things to really kind of get reduced, just because it's one of those things that isn't necessary and I can fix at home and do myself instead of going out. Though it is nice to go out because, you get to go out, you have a date night, things like that, and enjoy time with your family. So those are always important as well. So we try to budget them in. I had $150 for miscellaneous. This is another category that I have to keep an eye on that I've reduced just because we just don't have the money. So hopefully we don't go over budget too much. $47.54. It's also a category that I forgot to write down. $47.54. It's also another category what was I going to say? I keep an eye on, and if I don't have enough miscellaneous money, I have to make sure I decide where the money's coming from and what cash I'm using it from. Is it savings? Is it emergency fund? Is it anything that I have that's cash, which I wouldn't use my emergency fund for something miscellaneous, but I would use it for emergencies. But I could. It just depends on what it was. So 102.46 is what we have left for the rest of the month, and you divide that by 3 weeks. That's $34. I did not divide restaurants for the next 3 weeks. So we have at least over $100 a week for eating out. So $112.80. So that should work out just fine for the rest of the month. Pretty sure it should. So that's good. So I have $2.25 for gas. I wanted to keep that high enough to go travel, pick up my father-in-law, bring him back, make sure he can go see his sister, and we go visit with his family and her. Well, she's my family too. I love Aunt Kathy. If you're watching, hi, I love you. We went and visited her and things like that. So I want to make sure I had enough gas budgeted so I can do all these things with them. And we had $2.25, and I topped off the tank at $23.42. I have a large vehicle, so it does take a lot of gas. I think it's a 29-gallon tank. And it's like a tank. It's a big vehicle. It's like a tank. so $201.58 divided by 3 weeks is $67 a week. I know in week 2 I'll have to fill up probably about that much. Week 3, no. Week 4, yes. So if we have 3 weeks at $67, we should be good. So I'm not worried about the rest of the month. These check marks are just me letting myself know that, hey, you've paid this, it's fine. So we had no copay and no unbudgeted. Those are prescription copays or doctor's appointments. So we still have the $75, and I never budget for unbudgeted, so that's good. And that is that. That is the weekly check-in. And I did pay back the credit card. I am off by a penny. I'm not sure how that happened, but it did. So it was supposed to be 663, and I did 18, and it was 19. So I was off a penny there. But I will remedy that next week, and it should not be a problem when I double check the credit card. That is my weekly check-in. This is how I budget. This is how it works for me and all the budget sheets that I use. So if you like this kind of thing, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Give it a thumbs up. Put a comment in the comment section. I would love to have you here. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please, like I said, give it a thumbs up. And I will see you guys next time, and have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.
You had me at hello, 'cause where you go is where I go. I don't need nobody else. I got you, and you got me too.